right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 2017 Zoning Board of Appeals in the Town of Carmel meeting. Everyone's board members' names are in front of you, and Mike Carnazza, our code enforcement officer, is here with us tonight. Greg Fulchetti could not make it. He's our town attorney. The way we operate is we'll hear the cases in front of us, and we'll have an open dialogue at that point, but when I close the hearing, there'll be no more input from public. We'll allow input from the public on each application, and when we close it, there'll be no more input. Will you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, our first case tonight is Lena Schmalz. I'm sorry. That's a tough one, I'm sorry. Sorry if I butchered it. Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
And state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lena Smiley. My address is 271 East Lake Boulevard.
Okay.
Mayapack.
Tell us why you're here again. This was a holdover case. Actually, I'll read it. It's a variation of section 156.15, 156.10, seeking an area variance and use variance to retain existing shed on lot without principal dwelling, and it's located at 256 East Lake Boulevard in Mahopac, New York.
Correct.
All right. Tell us what you're seeking relief on.
Well, when we bought the property, the shed was there. It was just on the other side, on the other side by the other neighbor. So we got permission to bring the shed on the other side of the driveway, of the dock driveway.
You got permission from who?
From Maloney, Rose Maloney.
Okay, but not from the town. Obviously, that's why you're here, so.
Well, the shed was there. It was just changed to the other side.
Okay. I have the numbers in front of me here. So you need a variance of 8.2 feet. I think last time there were concerns that you have wire and power, power going to it already, and what can be done to bring that into conformance a little better. Can we move this thing closer away from the property line?
Well, there's an electric pole there in the property, and that's where the power comes from.
Okay. So, I don't remember, did you submit a letter? Was there a letter from Maloney?
Yes,
Neighbor, okay.
I think it's in your possession somewhere there.
I actually don't have a copy of it, I got it
It was
electronically.
emailed to us.
Okay, well, it basically was in support of the shed being where it was, they had no issue with it.
She had they have no issues with that.
And the neighbors on the other side?
The neighbor on the other side is far away. I mean, and there's no issues with the other neighbor.
Okay. Now, there were some issues with the fence, but I think that was rectified, Mike?
Yes, Dennis went out, he said it is 4 feet now. I guess some fill was brought in and some cutting was done, so he was satisfied.
Okay.
I have a question, Mike, on that. If the posts are above the 4 feet and any scalloped edging?
Yeah, we don't go by the posts, we just the fence itself.
Okay.
Okay, I'll look for input from the board. Rose?
I noticed that on our September 28th minutes, Mrs.
Lena.
Lena, all right. Lena said it's on top of concrete. And then you had said theoretically it could be moved to conform much closer to what code is. So the potential is there to move it. Initially, it was on the other side of the driveway,
Yes, the driveway is in the middle of the property.
right?
So you have choices either on one side or the other side, because you can't place it on the driveway.
Because 1.8 is very close. It's very close to the property
Well, it was
line.
prior to having a letter from Maloney next door. I mean, if they don't have a problem with it, that helps, but
Well, I wonder, Maloney also has one very close to the fence. Have they come in for their variance as well?
Yeah, they came with a site plan a few years ago and did the boathouse and everything at the same time. I'm pretty sure everything was on there. I could check. I mean, I don't
Okay.
No issues
have
with
every
us.
file.
Because they're right on the line, too. Okay,
I'll check on it.
okay, thanks.
I mean, it's not out of character along the lake that we've done this.
Right.
In many situations, because there's no prime, it's the accessory building, basically, without a prime, so.
Okay.
Phil?
No questions, thank you.
No question. No questions.
No questions.
All right, is there any input from the public on this application? Okay. Thank you. I'll look
Thank you
for
very
a
much.
motion.
Motion to close.
All, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Two.
All right, number 2 is ShopRite Carmel.
Good evening. Anthony Mollet, attorney for the applicant, on behalf of Shamber, Morwell, Hollis, and Andreas and Laidlaw. The board may recall, at the last meeting, we had 2 categories of variances, parking and signage. The board was prepared to vote on the parking last time, but decided to vote on everything at once, and we had to address a number of concerns that the board had regarding the amount of signage on the building. What we did was submit to the board modified plans and a sign plan. However, looking at that today, it looks like it's a little bit inaccurate. So I'm going to hand to you an updated sign plan and run through it with you quickly for each of the signs.
I think we received this. Is it the same, or it's,
I changed it
Again?
today.
Okay.
It's less square footage than that.
okay.
It is less, you said?
Less, yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Thank you.
So the board may recall, the main sign is the ShopRite script sign. That's the sign that's really the most important to the applicant. The board wanted the applicant to reduce that down to 280 square feet. The applicant actually was able to reduce it down to 150 square feet, significantly less than what the board was requesting. The logo medallions, the logo medallion on the front of the building, the board wanted the applicant to bring it down to 7 feet in diameter. The applicant proposes 8 feet in diameter. The logo medallion on the side of the building, the board wanted 4 foot diameter, and the applicant's proposing 6 feet in diameter. And the remainder of the signs, the pharmacy sign, the board was okay with. The third welcome sign, the board was okay with. That's a welcome sign on the side of the building. And the other 2 welcome signs and a bottle return, the board is requesting that the applicant place on the glass windows, which the applicant is now agreeing to do. So overall, this brings the sign, and part of the reason for the correction was the 8 feet and 6 feet diameter was not measured how your code requires. You require to measure a square. They actually measured the circle. So we changed that on the updated sign plan. And the calculation initially included the 3 signs that were on the glass, but it's my understanding that the town code does not require that to be included in the calculation. So the overall calculation ends up being 267.8 square feet, which again, the board was requesting us to bring the scripted sign down to 280 square feet. We were able to reduce everything down to, including all the signs, to less than that figure, 267.8 square feet. So the applicant was originally requesting a variance of 433.6 square feet and is now requesting a variance of 227.8 square feet. And you know, although the medallions are 1 square foot bigger than what the board required, it was really an aesthetic thing. The 4 foot would just look a little too small on the side, so they're asking for 6 feet. But in you know, anticipation of the board's concern, that they agreed to reduce that big script sign down significantly.
Okay. You know, I think it was just a matter of opinion at that point, but I think I can live with a little bit of bigger. It was, you know, making some negotiations here. So, let's see what the board thinks. Mark,
I have no issue with that.
no issue with the bigger diameter?
No.
Bill?
No issue. Thank you for working with us.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, we appreciate that.
Anthony, just a couple quick clarifications on this. So the 227 is what we're requesting, plus they were given 148 many years ago?
Correct.
Is that correct? So we're looking at 375 total? Is that right? Am I reading that right?
What's the total number?
267.8.
No, you reduced it to 227, didn't you, just now? Oh,
There's a 130 square foot variance and an 80 square foot variance granted in the past,
80 and what?
and 130.
130? And then we're gonna do 267.8?
267.8, yes, correct.
67.8. Okay.
So instead of doing another addition to the others, why don't you just drop the other ones and make a total, if you're gonna grant it, and I don't mean to tell you what to do, but make it, this is the variance that's granted, all previous variances for signs are now null and void. Instead of having to go and add 80 and 110 and 62 or whatever it comes to.
Correct. This is an
Make it one
overall-
variance for the total, and then you can put a note, previous variances were granted for signs also, you know,
Right,
which are now null and void.
okay, I'll have a problem with that.
So it would be 80, 130, and 267.8 would be
No, it'll be a total of
No.
267.8.
Total of 267.8.
Total of
Total
267.
of 267.8.
Okay.
Right, I think what Mike's saying is, part of the board's consideration may be the fact that we were granted some variances in the past, in that respect. But the total overall at this point now would be the 267.8.
But
And that
say in total,
And that includes all those prior?
that's correct.
Okay,
Don't, this
gotcha.
way we're not
Right.
trying to add up all the previous ones.
Okay,
It would have been a little confusing to segment it. so
yeah,
it is.
it was a little confusing. And you said which ones are gonna be on the glass now?
Okay, the numbers 5, 6, and 7.
5, 6, and 7 are gonna be on the glass. The
Correct.
welcome? One welcome and not the other?
There are 3 welcome signs total. There's one on each
Two,
end of the
right.
front and one on the side. The side is actually on the building because you can't really put it on the glass. The
Okay.
fronts are on the glass.
Okay, so bottle return, welcome 1 and 2
Yes,
are on glass?
yep. And those are actually shown on the plan with an arrow showing exactly where they are. They're labeled welcome 1, welcome 2, welcome 3.
Okay, great. Thanks, Anthony.
All right, anything further, Anthony?
That's all we have.
All right, is there any input from the public on this application? All right, I'll look for a motion to close this hearing.
Motion to close.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you,
you.
sir. Losing my agenda here. All right, number 3, Thomas Morris. And it's for a variance of section 156-15, seeking an area variance to construct a new garage within a side lot setback. Property is located at 18 Collier Drive West, Carmel, New York, 10512.
Good evening.
Good evening.
State your name and
My name is-
address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Toscano. I'm the architect for the project.
Okay. Okay. Can you raise your right hand? I need to swear you in. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, thanks. Let us know what you're looking to do here.
We're looking for a 5-foot variance. The site plan, which is on the construction documents, page number 1, lower left-hand corner, shows the location of the garage, the proposed garage. You can see the plans and elevations for it. It's a 1-story building, 2 cars. And my client prefers to be able to drive straight in. And so he's thinking that a 5-foot variance would solve his problem in terms of being able to easily park his car, bringing him in and out of the site. Part of the driveway is existing. The driveway in front of the garage, which is stippled, as you can see, would be the new part of the blacktop. That's essentially it.
All right, so this thing isn't built yet, obviously. There is some room to work with this a little bit. I don't think you need to come straight in. There's some play there. I think we're gonna look to negotiate with you here a little bit. When I was out there, it was hard to see where the property line was
Yeah, that's right.
because of the snow and all that, but I was out there on Sunday and, It looked like there's plenty of room to bring this thing over. I mean, they're making some nice improvements to the house as a whole.
Yes, they are.
Are they living there at the same time?
I think
Looks
so,
like
yeah.
a lot of stuff is going on to
I think
construction.
he's just gotten married, or is about to.
Okay. So, I mean, you're asking for 5 feet. I think if we split hairs, maybe go 7.5 feet, it's still comfortable enough to drive straight into it, and it
Oh,
gets you
okay.
away from the property line a little
All
more.
right.
How close will that push out to the existing building?
The existing building is far off to the,
That's fine, I just want to make sure.
oh, yeah, sure.
Just
It's
wanna
good.
make sure,
What
'cause
we're
you-
talking about is moving it in the opposite direction, away from the house.
Gotcha,
Right,
just making
away
sure.
from the other property line. So instead of
Moving it
meeting,
towards the house.
right,
No, you're moving it towards the house.
No. Oh, yeah, and, yeah,
Yes,
yes, yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
away from the property line,
Yeah,
more
yeah,
inboard.
yeah,
How far will it be from the existing house at the end of the day?
Well, right now, it's still 20
about-
feet back and forth from the
Okay,
back
so
of
you're
the
going to be
house
20 feet away, that's fine.
From the back of the house to the front of the garage. So basically, Mike, we're just gonna slide it
Over.
in the same line, but over.
2.5 feet split.
Just want to make sure, because the code
Right.
requires different
Yeah.
type of construction if
In
you're within the
fairness-
10-foot circumference.
I understand there, you wanna come
good.
straight down into it, but it is coming in askew somewhat and still gives you enough angle to get a car in there. No running water planned, correct?
No, not at all.
And I would assume electric, I mean, they have a stairwell going up, that's just for storage?
That's just, yeah, just an attic space.
Okay. All right, I'll open it up to the board. Mark, anything?
No questions.
Mike? No questions, so.
No question.
Just so I'm clear, you're agreeing that instead of the 5-foot variance, you'll do a 2.5-foot? Okay, thank you.
Is there any reason why they don't want to just attach it? To conti-
Detach it?
To attach, instead of having a detached garage, having an attached garage?
We never even thought about it. He's had it in his mind to build a freestanding garage for years.
Really?
And he's got the property for it, and I think, I wouldn't know how to, well, I mean, suppose there's a way of designing it so that you could do it, but I don't think, I think it would be disruptive to the plan. It doesn't quite work as well as it could.
Okay. I assume that the size of the garage doors are going to be a standard size?
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be an oversized?
No, no, no. Standard 9
Standard-sized
feet
doors?
by 7 feet, a pair of them.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to ask the construction guys on this job, on the application, can there be another floor on there from the pitch of the roof?
No.
Can there be living
The ceiling,
space?
the ceiling wouldn't qualify as habitable space.
Okay.
It wouldn't have a consistent 7-foot ceiling, which is part of the code. It wouldn't have windows, it wouldn't have egress windows, on and on it goes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, any more input from the board? I'll look for any input from the public on this application. Doesn't look like many takers here, so. All right, so you agree to that, and that should work, all right? Look for a motion to close the public hearing. Do
Motion to close.
I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
How does it work? You'll notify us by,
If you want to stick around, it might,
you vote on it?
yeah, we'll
later
decide on
Okay.
it tonight, or you can check
Call
with
tomorrow.
Mike's
either way.
office tomorrow. All right, thank you. Okay, and our last application tonight is Gu and Wang, and seeking interpretation that a three-family dwelling has existed prior to 1955, contrary to Town of Carmel records. Property is located at 133 Route 6N, Mahopac, New York. All right, representing,
Yep.
you are?
Yeah, by myself. Yeah.
State your name and address for the record, please.
My name, okay. My name is Longo. Address is 133 6N there.
Okay, and Mike, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, give us some facts here. So this property's been existing, how old is the building?
This is a building, I don't know, maybe 70, 80 years old.
Okay, so it's been existing
Yeah,
that long.
yes, this is for a long time there, yeah.
So you have to try to prove to us that this was existing as a three-family.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
right now, it's existing as such,
Right now, existing is a three-family there.
is a three-family home?
Yes, yeah.
All right, do you have any paperwork, any paperwork or records to show us what's existing?
It's on the plans, did you get
Yeah,
a
we
set
are-
of plans? There's
yeah.
existing conditions on that plan.
Mike, all that I saw was all new construction. Was there supposed to be a? Oh, where, on the bottom?
Smaller plan,
Yes.
existing
Oh, okay. So the bedroom count and the bathroom count is pretty much the same?
The bedroom count would remain the same in his proposal and his existing. But again, my record said it was a 2. The assessor's record said it was a 2. And we went out and looked at the house, and it is set up as a 3. And again, it's old, I don't know how old it is, but it's been set up as a 3 for a while. If you look at the appliances inside, it's
And the records that you had were dated from prior to, or
post 55,
post 55?
correct.
And there's nothing in the record for this property prior to that?
That's, we didn't keep records before that.
No.
The building department started in 55. The assessor's card from 1968 said it was a 2. The assessor's card from 1995 said it was a 2.
So somewhere along the line, it was converted?
Somebody either didn't go there and look at it, or something, that's what I mean, I can't interpret it, that's why it's here. I can't make a determination, because my file says 2,
All right, and
but
you
when
s-
you look at the house, you can
You
see,
said 95 was the last?
that was the last one I checked, yes. The reval from 95 said 2.
So for almost 25 years, it's been a three-family.
At least, I mean, if you look inside the building, you would say the same, but that's why he's here, because
I
I'm
didn't want to
looking
go
at-
any closer than the back porch of Phil.
Right. It actually is, we walked through the whole thing, there are some spots that are rotten, but again, it wasn't dangerous, it wasn't anything like that, but it is locked up, so you
gotta
probably
say-
wouldn't get in there.
Any improvement that's going to occur here is going to be a blessing, because the building should be condemned, in my opinion. I mean, it basically is inhabitable right now, so
It's inhabitable right
I
now.
don't know if anybody else got a chance to go up there, but, I mean, look, if it's been a three-family for that long, I don't know if that's
Is
going
it
to
a
encumber.
use variance now because it goes from a residential two-family to a multi-family, so it then becomes a use variance?
If you interpret that it was not a 3 prior, then yes, he would have to go for use variance to get it to 3. But if you interpret that it's been a 3, then he wouldn't have to get the use variance. That's up to the board. That's why it's here.
Typically, when we do these kinds of things, we ask the applicant to bring in letters from neighbors saying that it was a three-family, correct?
Or
Or an
establish some
affidavit.
kind of record.
That's usually
yeah,
when
some
somebody owns
affidavit.
it, though. If somebody owned it and continued to own it, and then we caught them doing something, we would call up, they would try to get neighbors to say, I had my second birthday there in 1950 or whatever, and it was a two-family or whatever. He just purchased the property, I don't know how long ago, a few months?
2 months.
So you purchased it with the paperwork saying it was a two-family dwelling?
A three-family, I think. They got
The
a
paperwork-
better from the bank.
The bank says what?
3.
But the
Bank
but
says
bank-
three.
Bank saying three families, yeah.
That's
Did you
the
get a
problem.
municipal search?
Huh?
No.
That's a municipal search when you bought the property. That would be a search of the town records to tell you.
He did not get a municipal search.
I look at the house there, it's a three-family, yeah.
Mike, when you walked through and you saw, the setup the way it was, can you tell by looking at, the plumbing and everything approximately when that was all put in?
I could tell you it's old. Can I tell you a year? No.
Older than me.
Older than me? Absolutely
I
older
looked
than
in
me.
one of the windows, and there was
They
a
had
tub.
3 old kitchens,
It was an
they had
old porcelain.
3 old kitchens, there was an
Wooden tub.
obvious unit on the right, staircase you walk in to go right and then up. it's obviously broken up. That was the lobby on the, I think that was the front of the building? Did we go through the front or the back first? I don't remember which.
Yeah, we
No,
have-
we walked in the back.
we
There's
walked in
like,
the back.
it's like you
They
walk
have
in
a-
and then it splits
Okay.
off to the two different, so, I mean, could it have possibly been one that they split? Yeah, that's the problem I have. I can't say for sure what's there. It's older than me. And it's been that way for quite a while, but again, I don't know which way to go. I mean,
What other records
While you're here.
can be out there that the applicant can get that could help him?
contact neighbors? I mean, are there any
Yeah.
neighbors that have been there? That's probably the first house, because everything around him, I think, is newer. They did that subdivision there, Friendly Road, I think it is. Once you go in off of Friendly, I think they're all newer 70s houses. So that's going to be 60s, okay, I'm sorry, 60s or 70s houses, so they're going to be, finding somebody with that kind of knowledge would probably be very difficult to find at this time. That's where we are now with the houses, with our predate. People are starting to not be around. And that's getting more and more difficult to get these letters. But again, I'm not, I couldn't say which it was, because like I said, I have the file telling me one thing, have my vision telling me another thing, and the assessor's card saying another thing. So it's very confusing for me.
Was it a foreclosure?
Yeah, I get it from the foreclosure, from the bank.
But you were able to do a walkthrough? You walked through the building?
Yeah. I walked through the building so many times, and I pushed.
Like, there's no CO for a two-family, correct?
No,
No
there's
CO at all.
just no CO, pre-existing house. Mr. Gu came to my office to find out what the process was to make it better. That was the plans that you have there. And at that point, that's when we found out that it was not, my file said 2, and he thought it was 3. So then we went out to look at it, and that's why we're here, because again, I'm not able to make that determination.
But like I said, I mean, if it's been a three-family for over, 25 years, 27 years?
I would guess more than that. I would guess as long as I've been around, but again, I can't, it's a guess, because it's not, I don't have any dates to go
Data.
by exactly, so.
When was the last time someone lived in there?
I don't know. You know, when I bought it from the bank,
It looks like a
it's
long
empty
time.
there.
There's a tarp on the roof, it's leaking, the whole back porch is rotted. It's inhabitable.
It is. Right now, it's
This is
not.
asking for dynamite.
What about other things in the area? Boniello was built in 1960, if I'm not mistaken. What about other, can you tell by other structures, other houses?
I could tell that the structure's that I know, but I don't know if it was pre-existing two-family or pre-existing three-family. And that's the hard part. We would need to have an older person be able to tell us what it was. Again, we don't. And it's so hard to get somebody today that would know that, because
They're either not
That would
around or
remember it.
moved away.
Are you looking to knock it down completely and start from scratch? Or are you planning to use the existing building and repair it?
Yeah, this is all new construction.
yes.
Excavation, foundation, all new construction, correct?
Are you staying in the same footprint but rebuilding the whole thing?
I don't know, either ways. But I want to check out everything inside is good. We just remodeling it. If
He's probably at least going to have to do very much structural work to do anything there. There's rot. You can see as you walk in that back door, that the bottom, the plate is gone, basically.
That's what I saw.
So there's going to be a lot of structural work.
I mean, if this does get approved as such, you're wasting money trying to repair what's there. It's almost as if you have to build this thing from scratch.
There's people in the audience that may know something too,
Okay.
may have some knowledge. I mean,
Let me make sure the board's done with their questions.
yeah, I didn't mean
now.
to do that. I wasn't trying to rush it. I
Guys,
just,
does anybody have any more questions, or, Mark, do you have any statements that, from your legal opinion?
I was just asking, I mean, obviously, municipal search wouldn't have shown a CO, there's no CO for the property at all. Tax assessor's cards don't determine legal use of the property, just how it's taxed. If we interpret it to be a three-family, or if he even goes for a use variance for a three-family, the tax assessor's card would eventually catch up.
Mhm.
And then the taxes would be increased accordingly, and as long as it's not out of character for the neighborhood, I don't have any objection to it.
How big is the lot, do you know?
Lot pretty big. It's a big, it's almost an acre, I think.
Acre?
It looks like there's a lot of room on the
Yeah,
lot.
looks like
I was just curious, I didn't know how.
at least 3/4 of an acre.
Yeah, I saw it, I just can't remember. Does it go all the way back to Archer Road?
I don't know, they only almost 300 from the,
No.
that side, and the other side is a 260 something, you know?
No, I don't think it connects back to Archer.
It doesn't? Okay, I wasn't sure. I know it goes that direction, I just can't picture. It's just a swamp behind there, isn't it? The cattails? Yeah, wetlands, okay.
All right, do you guys have any more? All right, at this point, I'll open it to the public if you guys want to come up and speak. Just speak into the microphone, let me state your name and address for the record, and raise your right hands.
Come with me.
State your name and address for the record, please.
James Hartling, 21 Friendly Road.
And you are?
Phyllis Hartling, 21 Friendly.
Okay, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
We moved in there in 1979, and it was a two-family house that we know of.
As far as we know, it's always been a two-family house. We
Always
knew
been
the
a
previous
two-family
owners,
house.
so-
We knew the previous owners, and it was sort of a mother-daughter type deal. And as far as I know, our water supply fed that house.
That's why we're here, we're only
We're
concerned
we're
about
concerned,
our
we'd like to
water.
see the house knocked down and rebuilt.
Yeah, I mean.
It's
the
an
house is
eyesore,
It's an eyesore.
Did you guys see the plans at all? Did you get a
No, we
chance?
didn't.
Do you want to peruse and get an idea? I mean, whatever he's doing is going to be a well-welcomed
Oh, yes,
enhancement.
but again, it's our well system that they're on.
Yeah, we're just concerned about, the
And
water usage and stuff.
From what I
because it's all
understand, I'm only getting
single-family
secondhand
houses.
that
Okay,
somebody
but
broke all
from-
the pipes inside the
From what
house.
Mike is saying, it's set up as a three-family
Right now it
now.
is.
So it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna, the use is gonna increase. It's gonna be the same bedroom and bathroom count, from what I could tell.
That's what
So
he
it's
proposes
not gonna
on
be
the
any
plan.
worse than it's been in use for the last 27 years.
Do you recall it being a two-family? Do you ever recall it being a three-family?
No, it's a two-family, but there's also, you were out there, you saw how big the driveway is?
Absolutely.
Tiny.
Absolutely.
As it is, we've had to call the town numerous times to get a Friendly Road because of all the traffic on 6N now. Moved up here in 79, you could go, fly right out of there. To make a left-hand turn, flew right out of there. Now, sometimes I'm waiting there, I know the sounds.
I'm very
ridiculous. 2
surprised
and
some
3,
of
4
our
minutes.
neighbors
Oh, no,
weren't here tonight
Yes.
Did
because
they get the
most
notice?
of them have the same concerns.
You know, we want to see it built, it's beautiful,
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't know
It's
if
an
it was ever a
eyesore
three-family
now.
house. That's all, you know.
Okay.
And we're
Well,
concerned
so
about the
I'll
water
lay your
system,
concerns about the
septic
parking.
system.
He's expanding the parking system towards the back of the house.
right.
So
There's that.
how many spots?
Looks like 2 per family.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6.
Not here. Yeah, we gotta come in here, there, yeah.
I'll go in the
Yeah,
back.
nothing gonna hurt.
Well, three-family house, and it's gonna be, how many bedrooms are in there now? I don't have my glasses, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying, it's basically the same bedroom
It's 3
count
bedrooms?
and bathroom count that's there now. And that's how the county, with the Board of Health, they, have to give them
How
an
many
approval
bedrooms
for
will
the
be in
septic.
this house now?
2, 2, and 3.
Mike, does
he have to get a new 2 and septic 3? system,
or is he?
And how large is this septic system? I had to put an addition on my house.
This all has, before he can do anything, the Board of Health has to see this.
Right.
We don't do the septic part, we send it, we defer it right to the Board of Health.
Right.
We don't do
Okay.
it.
So, and if it's not passable by the Board of Health,
He's not getting it.
He can't get a permit, he can't build the house.
That's correct.
Or
So-
he has to downscale,
That's correct.
or he'd have to downscale.
But as far as, I'd love to see, I want to see a house built beautifully.
Yeah.
It hurts us.
Yeah.
I
So-
will go into beautiful.
But again, I don't want,
Would be, yeah, well, we have a neighborhood there. Right now, only terrible house there, right now.
yeah, a terrible house there, but I don't want,
If you look at the elevations, that gives some indication of New construction.
Yes. Well, new construction, but he's saying he's gonna use the old foundation and everything else. How
No,
good
no,
is-
no, we, you know, I need to check out, yeah, I think we're going to lock it down to build a new there, you know.
My opinion, just by looking at it, he's not going to be able to use, if he could use the foundation, maybe, but the rest of it is so poor.
Judging the age of the house is probably
Judging
still.
by what I
My other-
saw, but again, I'm
My other
not.
question is the water.
Board of Health also?
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
septic,
Okay.
and the parking. That's,
Okay.
you know, like I say,
Mostly it's the water, I think, is the
Absolutely.
biggest.
But the
And
water,
look,
they
new-
have a community.
Community
Yeah,
well.
water.
Yes,
Yes.
we have
But
community.
in front of the
but,
house.
okay,
No,
but,
hold on, hold on.
but,
Okay,
wait,
okay,
wait,
okay,
one
hold on
second,
minute.
one second. Friendly Road's all single-family houses.
Right.
We all pay a water bill. Three-family house, one water bill?
Three.
No, you'll have,
One
Three
water
separate
bill.
water
They
meters?
get
meters.
3 units. Oh, I shouldn't say that, because is it a town water system?
No.
No, it's,
Okay, then I don't know the answer.
yeah.
Okay.
Then I don't know the answer, and
My
I
other
don't
question
want
is
to guess. it.
electric. Three separate electric meters?
Can, sure.
yeah, most likely.
But
You
Yes,
know,
so
is
if
there
there's
3
three
electric
on-
meters on it now?
No,
I don't know what's there. I did not see that.
Right now, I think it's a 2 meter there, I see.
2
the
meters, yeah. 'cause
Then
it's
I
always
think
been
that
a
I-
two-family
Two,
house.
two or 3 meter there, I don't, I'm not sure yet.
I think it's
Again,
two.
I don't want to give you a hard time.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I want a nice house, but
Yeah.
Not for anything, though?
we have concerns.
Yeah,
Septic
what's your
system,
name? What's your name again?
Jim.
Jim is Mike, okay. Nice.
you know,
I,
and I've turned people in because all of a sudden I see cars parked in the driveway, see something, say something.
Yeah.
And I've called the town once or twice about something going
Well,
on
there's been a
there.
lot of break-ins and stuff, because the house has been empty for a very
Yeah,
long
I'm
time.
sure
So
it's
there's been a
full of
lot of
graffiti.
vandalism. They put up a wood door, it just,
Somebody took all the pipes out of there, our water
If you look
system
at the drawings, you look at what he plans to do, it's gonna increase tenfold. It's gonna increase the value of your home and your neighbors'
oh, I
homes.
have no
Yeah.
problem with this. I'm just, like I said, just concerned about the water.
I think your concerns are addressed, and like Mike
Because
said,
I don't know that.
Can I have this?
No, you can't.
No, can't have
But
that?
I don't know.
not true yet.
I'm
like
sorry.
Mike said,
But
the
Jim,
board,
I want to know, what do you concern about the water there? But the water, they
Mike,
have.
Mike, you
Address
gotta
the board.
keep you guys separate. Let them talk, then if you wanna come back and talk, I'll let you do that. But if you guys wanna afterwards go out and talk to each other and
Yeah, I
figure
mean,
it out.
We don't have any problem.
To
with
allay your
something like
concerns-
this, But our concern, I think, is we're on a community well. It's all single-family homes. And what kind of an impact is this gonna have on our community well, being a three-family house? As far as we've ever known, it's been two-family. And our water guy just said, what was it, 2 years ago, I think, that we had a tremendous problem with our well.
You know, I'm sorry,
was-
can you speak into the microphone? Cause it's
Yes.
being recorded, and she's gotta
Okay,
take it for the
our
minutes.
well was being, like, drawn down, drained, and they couldn't figure out why until they went down to the house and somebody had taken out all the pipes and the water was just flooding all over the place and running for whoever knows how long. So that's the biggest thing, I think, is what kind of an impact, like a three-family house. But I guess that's something our community has to be concerned about.
Are there
I mean, I
three-family
don't know.
houses in the neighborhood?
I'm not sure how that works with, it's a private, water district, I guess, in that area?
Is it the one
Yeah,
that was
it's
Forest
York-
Park at one time?
It's Yorkview Water Estates. It's all
Is
the way up at the end of Friendly Road.
Yeah, I know where the
Right.
structure is. I just don't know who maintains it, or, I'm not sure.
Maintain it.
Yeah, our
Well,
okay.
homeowners maintain that.
Got it. Okay,
And
so-
I think B&G Plumbing now
Okay.
goes and does their water testing.
So they would be part of your HOA? Is that what you're saying?
Who?
This house?
They would have to be, I would
Oh, I
imagine
don't
so,
know.
yeah.
Then they would have to,
They might have to
well,
get the
I don't
whole
want to
well,
give
I
legal
don't know.
advice because I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to start getting into that, but
Yeah.
But our concern, like I say, was water and
Absolutely.
septic and visibility getting out of our street, because it's,
Again, he's gotta go to the Board of Health for both
Right.
those items, and like Mike said, so if it's
Right.
not doable or passable, he either
Okay,
has
well,
to
let it-
enhance the
you know,
septic
let it-
system to make it work for that type of structure.
Okay.
So he won't get approval without.
Okay, well,
So
let it
that'll-
go through the channels then, I guess
Exactly.
that's the best thing to do, right? Okay.
well, we would
Right.
like
That
to
would
see
be
something
fine.
built there. We're not,
Yeah,
it's a
that
nice
should have been
law,
knocked down a
it's-
long
it's-
time ago,
yes.
so there could be nothing but improvement that you're gonna do. We have no problem with that.
All right,
So, I mean, we're happy to see somebody, will do something with it, anyway.
okay.
Okay.
I thank
All
you
right.
guys.
This application asked for an interpretation that this was a three-family dwelling. We have someone coming here saying it wasn't a three-family dwelling.
What they're saying is it was a two-family, and one of the two families had a mother-daughter, I believe. I believe, and I'm not,
There was three families in there.
three units is what they're saying, I believe. Again, I'm not talking for you.
So you're,
Other thing too is that
come on up here.
Mike, let her come to the microphone.
this was prior to when the Friendly Road Development, Yorker View Estates was built. So that was the original farmhouse to Yorkview Estates. Just like on the corner of Archer Road and Sixth End, that big white house, that's the original farmhouse to Archer Estates.
And when was your development built?
So 62, I believe? 62, okay? But that was the original house for our farmland.
Right, but the question is, was it a three-family?
Not as far as I've ever known.
Or was
I
it a
don't know.
two-family plus an accessory apartment?
I don't know.
That we don't know.
We don't know.
Is it
You're
possible?
speculating, you don't know for sure, you were never in the
don't know
house.
for
or-
sure.
Okay.
But
So
we
we-
never saw more than 4 or 5 cars there.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Could have been a single person.
When the Barretts owned it, and they're the ones that I should say, is the one that walked away from this property. He owned it.
No, I think he sold it to somebody else.
Did he sell to somebody else and they walked away? Okay. His family owned it for many, many, many years. And then when his parents died, he brought his brothers out or whatever it is, and he owned it for many years, and he used it as a rental property.
And we're only getting the second hand, we're not
Yeah.
getting it.
Okay.
I mean, I worked with his wife, that's the only thing I knew, and I only knew that it was two apartments that they rented. Now, I don't know if they had a third one in there somehow, I don't know. I don't wanna speculate.
Did they live there?
No, was not their primary residence.
proven
They lived off of
facts,
Archer
so.
Road, off a way across. But he maintained the property, he took care of the grass and everything else.
Okay.
Are the
And then
Barretts
it was
still around?
abandoned.
Are the Barretts still around to,
Barrett, she died and I don't know where his siblings are, and he's moved south somewhere.
I think he went to Florida.
Yeah, I think he moved south.
That's a
But I
lot.
think Jim is right, he sold it to someone else, and they're the ones that
They might have
abandoned
tried to
it.
make,
Maybe they
third
abandoned it.
I'm not sure.
Could be,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. That's why I said it's too much for me to figure out.
Yeah.
From
it's-
95, it's been 3, so, right? That's the last
At least, I mean,
recorded
correct.
paperwork on it.
95 was
40
the
years,
second
that's 40
rebound.
years too late.
But I thought you went by houses by the number of electric meters. Well, 2 electric meters, and then you stick a mother and daughter in there. You know,
There could have been like a one-studio apartment that they just,
They just.
yeah.
let
well,
them,
there's a
took-
whatever their
little-
electric
Exactly,
usage was, it was.
exactly, Yeah. We have a couple of mother and daughters on our road, you know.
Yeah, you're allowed to
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
daughters,
legal.
you know, but one electric meter, so. Okay, well, let's just go through the
Thank you.
term.
Well, thank you, guys.
We were just concerned about the water, like I said, but good luck.
Mike?
Mike?
The three kitchens? the
Three kitchens,
The three kitchens are all old?
Old,
Old.
old. Older than me, honestly. I mean.
Older than you.
old, like that. Some of the kitchens, it was,
I'll swear you in, ask
didn't
you
want
how
to
old
walk
you are.
near the sink, you know, like worried that it was going to break through. They were old.
Yellow appliances, yellow and lime
I remember them
green.
being yellow. Were they yellow?
Metal cabinets?
I don't remember it being yellow. I don't remember.
It's
that.
retro, it's
I
coming
just
back
remember
into
being-
style.
Metal cabinets?
Cabinet doors were ripped off of one of the units. There were no cabinets, right?
No, they have 3 auto cabinet there.
They had cabinets on them?
Yeah, they're auto cabinet.
Were they metal or wood?
Very old wood there.
Wood though, or metal?
Very, very old. Look at
Old wood or old metal?
that. No, old wood. I
Wood,
don't think-
okay.
Old wood, okay.
I think yeah, it's you know, we just, yeah, look at that. Look at everything
It's a
very,
moot point,
very
'cause
old
if this
there.
passes, you're gonna knock it all
There's no
down.
electric, so it's not like bright and airy, you know what I mean? It's,
Musty and wet and damp.
well, not terribly wet, but just, it's nasty.
Yeah. All right, Mike, do you have anything else to add? Questions, concerns?
No, just, you know, I want to just get this proof.
Any input from the public on this application, other than what we've heard already?
2-family house as far as I know. Now, I don't know about the other apartment. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, I'll look for a motion to close the hearing on this application.
Motion to close.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. At this point, we're going to decide on the cases, so there's no input from the public, please. All right, you guys need to take a break or go right through it? Okay. Application number 1, Miss Lena, I'm not going to pronounce your last name. Smiley.
She's smiling over there.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted. Number 2, ShopRite Carmel. Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant.
All right, based on,
As submitted?
No. With all prior variances regarding signs are now null and void, and these, as submitted or...
The total square footage,
You got the numbers there? 267.8.
shall be the new number.
That's the new number.
Thank you
total square footage of signage for this property,
for this variance, yes.
as was negotiated to sizes, so it's not too encumbering.
Not for the property, for the establishment.
For the establishment, for the,
Not the whole property, because
For
the
the
other...
tenant.
There you go,
Right.
perfect.
do I have a second?
Second?
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion granted. Number 3, Thomas Morris, do I have a motion?
Motion to grant with the condition that there'll be no plumbing in the garage,
And as
As
As amended.
amended.
as amended.
As amended.
12 and a half feet and 2.5 feet are the variance,
Right.
correct?
Right.
Second.
Did I do that right?
Variance required of 2.5 feet, and provided, there'll
12
be
and a half.
12.5 feet provided.
I have to change it in the original. I wrote it wrong. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion granted. All right, and number 4, interpretation that a 3-family dwelling has existed for Gu and Wang. Do I have an interpretation?
I would like a motion for discussion.
Yep,
Do I have a
John,
second? Mike, there's no
We're
more
done.
input
We're
at
done.
this point.
Closed.
Second.
All right, discussion.
I think the burden here is on the applicant, and I don't believe he's met that burden. I understand we don't have any real proof. I don't know if there's anything out there. I just don't think there's enough for us to say that it was prior to 1955. We all agree it's old, but there's really nothing there that says it. And I feel sorry that he doesn't have the evidence to show it. It's a legal 2-family? Mike?
I guess, that's what my record says.
Right. So my feeling is not to grant that interpretation, because, we have a nice existing floor plan. That's about it. We don't have anything other than that. And the applicant admitted to having 2 electrical meters. I think that also works against him at this point. I would not be adverse to having this put over and have him come back with new information or new evidence that he could submit. That's where I'm leaning right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Phil.
Anything further?
I'm with Phil on this one. I mean, I would deny it without prejudice to allow him time to try to provide new information, or we can hold it over. Either way.
It's impossible to interpret how long it's been a 3 or a 2. So to be asked to interpret it as a 3, it's impossible. Can't do that. Perhaps he has another avenue, in addition to trying to find evidence, but maybe a whole other avenue to get to a 3-family. I think maybe he could ask for, was it a use variance?
He would need a use variance and site plan approval from the planning board if he goes.
Maybe that's the way to
that
go
route.
as well.
And that, the site plan approval would also help with some of the parking issues and things like that have been raised today as well. So
Again, not personally against it
Yeah,
being
no,
a
I
three-family.
love-
I just don't think we can interpret it that
I
way.
love that that this is happening. I just don't think I could do it.
All right, Rose, do you?
I would agree with Phil. It's either a holdover till next month or submit paperwork for a use variance. At this point, given the neighbors' comments, given the 2 meters, the tax records, everything points in the direction that it was a two-family. It doesn't, there's no, other than the fact that some cabinets are old, but we can't even date the cabinets, there's no indication that it was prior to 1955, which is old, but a 1960s kitchen is old too. So we can't prove anything right now. So we have the 2 options: come back again next month with some more evidence, or go for a use variance.
Okay, Bill?
I'll agree with that.
Same? All right,
What about a site inspection?
I think, I mean, we're
That's
going
fine.
to
I'm
trust
just
your
thinking-
opinion that
that's
there
fine.
were
I just
3.
didn't know if you guys wanted to see it and see what you thought when you got there, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you know, you walk the space, you know there's 3
Absolutely.
family dwellings in there, and it's obviously been that way for
A
that
long time. Again, I can't date it,
Yeah,
as I've
I
said.
don't know if
and
that's
then-
gonna
If you could tell
help
me
you
that.
change your guys' minds
Yeah,
on
if
that.
you could
but-
tell me that you could go in and you could see like a date on a pipe or something like that.
Forensic
Yeah.
construction person,
you-
whoever
yeah.
that is.
CSI.
I won't be able to do that.
I can't do it.
I would
Building
be able to,
department,
but,
CSI.
the
Dennis
points are
will.
valid, so then you want to change your interpretation. You want to interpret negatively of what he's seeking, right? Officially, we have to.
Or hold it over, what was his, I mean, that's
Yeah,
what he was
well,
saying.
Right.
So you can make a motion to hold this over, and you have to agree to want this held over so that you can try to get more evidence of it being a 3-family home. You gotta try to get some proof, get some testimony of neighbors or people who are from the area that know that that's always been a 3-family dwelling, you know what I mean?
Mike, can he hold it over and then come back seeking a variance?
If he holds it over and doesn't get any information, he can then fill out an application for the variance, sure.
But he'd be.
Before the
He
deadline.
deferred to the planning board.
That's, yeah, he'd have to go to the planning board first and then come over. But he can at least try to see if he can talk to somebody and see if anybody around knows
Right.
it, you know.
Do you understand that, Mike? The burden of proof is on you to find out or get some testimony or affidavits of someone who has knowledge of this being a 3-family home.
I think the tax department, I think it's a 3-family there.
No, can't be your testimony. It's
No,
gotta be
no, no,
someone.
I think
They
the
said the
town
tax
hall.
department.
The
meaning
tax
the assessor.
department.
But that's from 1995, Mike. We need something that says that it's from 1955, that this was a
Right.
3-family home
Prior
and
to.
as of 1955.
The 1968 one says 2,
1968,
said 2.
it says
Okay, so
2-family.
that's-
Then the newest one said 3 on the 95 one?
Not 3, I think, yeah.
Yeah, on that one. That's what I'm saying, but there's, well, he's gonna have to get some,
You gotta bring that proof with you. If there's something that says it's 3-family from the tax office, right? You gotta prove it to us
Oh, okay.
that that's always been a 3-family dwelling.
you can go to the assessor and get the cards and make
Oh,
copies.
okay, okay. I think the engineer department, they think the 3-family too there.
Did they? Okay, I don't know what they.
Yeah.
If you could get someone to write something up.
Paper, right? Oh,
some-
okay.
Something that shows that's prior to 1955, please do.
Do you understand that?
Okay.
All right, so
You have to do a little legwork on historical
Oh.
legwork to find out if this was indeed a 3-family home by means of the tax department or some other purpose, but also some kind of letters, someone who was around long enough to know that this has always been a 3-family home as far as they are aware or have been living there or what have you.
Okay.
All right, so alternatively, if you can't get that, then you're gonna have to go the route of getting site site plan approval from the planning board. Mike can probably explain it to you better,
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow. if you
Come see me
to his
tomorrow afternoon,
office.
and I'll go through it, or in the morning,
Oh, okay.
either between 8:30 and 9:30, or 2 and 4:30, I'm in the office.
Oh, okay, I got it, okay.
So that may be your only route, if you can't get that proof. So right now, we're gonna make a motion to hold this over, to give you that time
Okay,
to do some legwork.
okay, all right, good job.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
All right, so can I have an official motion?
Motion to hold over.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. All right, thank
Good
you,
luck, Mike.
everyone. We got
Approve the minutes.
minutes from
October
October.
26th.
Where's my agenda? All right, do I have a motion to accept the minutes of October 26th, 2017?
Motion to accept the minutes of October 26th, 2017.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah, Happy Holidays,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Take care, everyone.